We are live. How's it going, guys? Guru Nation, how are you doing? Monitoring visit. I had a monitoring visit yesterday. Came down to LA. It went well. Somebody actually had a lot of things going on, but yeah, I did the monitoring visit. The study's starting to wind down, which is good. Thank God the contract CRA stuff slowly, it's not coming to an end yet, but slowly coming to an end. Probably over the next like 6 months, maybe 8 months, it'll be done, I'm guessing. And it's perfect because that's right, coincides perfectly with my site starting to get busy. So, I'm just one person. That, unlike my other businesses, the monitoring I can't outsource. The site I can, but I don't want to initially. Eventually I will. So yeah, it's been good. I actually got a question. Somebody texted me the other day. And by the way, let me know where you are watching from, what you're drinking. Me, I got black coffee, and I'm in Costa Mesa, California. So let me know in the comments what's going on. Let me put a banner here. Ask me questions. And just to get it started, I got a question from somebody. It says, help. Help, all caps with 2 exclamations. I'm a new CRC, which is a clinical research coordinator. I've been in the industry for 3 months, and the lead CRC has left, so I've been pushed into her role. This is exactly what happened to me, but not 3 months in. It happened to me like 3 weeks in. I'm new to this field, and I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. I'm doing my best with checklists and online research, but I'm the only CRC at the site, and I'm struggling. We are a small company, but we have 7 studies, and I'm trying to keep track of it all. Your website has been very useful. Do you have any advice? Yes. So I actually have been in your situation. It is extremely stressful. I don't care your age. Okay, I was in my 20s, like early 20s. It was extremely stressful to the point where I started getting high blood pressure on a regular basis. I actually went to the doctor. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it was all stress related. So you're in for a bumpy ride, but this is a huge opportunity. So many people don't get this opportunity. You have the opportunity to level up your career right now. Like, you ever play those video games, role-playing games, where your character, you just fight monsters and you just keep leveling up? Well, this is you as a coordinator. Within 3 months, you've gone from a brand new coordinator to basically a site director. So with that, it's natural that it's going to come a lot of growing pains. The learning curve is steep. Here's my advice to you. Know the protocols really well. All right. 3 months in, you should know like fundamentals of research. You should know informed consent. You should know that every time the protocol gets amended, that'll usually trigger a new informed consent. You should know that every patient that's in the study at the time of the new informed consent approval needs to reconsent. You should know that you should document the process of consent every time. Notice how I'm talking about consent first thing, because that's most important. So the fundamental of research is, and what is GCP? It's to keep patient safety at the forefront of everything you do. So if I were you, the thing I would do is I would know your protocols really well. It's unavoidable. You're going to have deviations. Limit your deviations. Do not try to not have any patient safety deviations. All right, no patient safety deviations. So contraindicated meds. Make sure you're reporting all the AEs and SAEs. Make sure you're documenting what meds, what new medication changes the patients get, because maybe it's contraindicated with the protocol. Know that stuff really well. Know the protocol really well. Don't screw up randomization. If a patient doesn't qualify, don't randomize them accidentally. Those are the major things you got to watch out for. 7 studies is a lot. That's more than what I took on. When I was in your situation, I had 3, maybe 4 studies that I had to take over, and only 2 of them were important. And what I mean by important was only 2 of them, 2 of those 4 studies had like 80% of the patients. So what I did was I just focused on those 2 studies. So from those 7 studies you have, where are the majority of the patients coming from? That's where you need to focus on first. Like time, obviously the advice is to learn all 7 protocols, but really well. But practically speaking, learn the ones first that you have the majority of patient visits. Try to figure out basic things like, do you have the patient contact info? When I took over, we didn't have patient contact info. There was no system. This was kind of before electronic medical records. So there was no system. There was like a Rolodex. There was supposed to be a Rolodex of where the patient numbers are. So I couldn't even contact the patients to let them know when they came in. So I was just hoping that they remembered they were in a study to come in. So hopefully you have that info where you can contact the patients. And I would contact them all, introduce yourself as the new coordinator. Everything goes through you now. You're here to help them, make sure they're okay on the study. All those things are important also. Because you don't know. Maybe they told the previous coordinator something like, hey, I have to go out of town in 3 months, or Thanksgiving's coming up. So maybe they told the previous coordinator, hey, on Thanksgiving, I'm going to miss one of the visits. So you need to get in front of that to make sure that you can get sponsor approval for those things. Sometimes sponsors grant waivers for patients when they travel on the holidays, that they can skip certain assessments and it's not a deviation. Or it's a deviation, but it's not an IRB reportable deviation. So you got to get ahead of those kind of things. We got people are saying this is very common. Good morning, Leslie. How's it going? Raymond says very common. Moinier says lots of growing pains. Sylvia says hi. Hi, Sylvia. Mo says watching from Jackson, Mississippi, drinking mango tea. Huh. Sounds like something my mother-in-law would like. Hello from Bangalore, India. Hello. Hello, Dan. Nice to see you again. Farhana. Nice to see you too. So yeah, I mean, that's basically like, and then this advice applies to everybody. Like the other week, I got basically the same question from somebody, but they were less looking at it as I don't think this person sees it as an opportunity either, but it's opportunity. The worst thing you can do is leave. If you leave, you're throwing away opportunity for you to level up. Because imagine now you're going from just a research naive coordinator to the lead CRC of 7 studies, basically site director. So once you get the protocols and everything like stable, maybe 3 months from now, so towards the beginning of 2022, you should start, because you're going to have to bring in more staff. Guess who's going to be in charge of them now? It's going to be you. So you got to start creating systems, training systems. If I were you, I would read the book, The E-Myth Revisited. It talks about how to take any process and kind of make it like how McDonald's makes McDonald's University for their franchises. So this is how you make a burger. This is how you make a fry. This is how you serve a customer. Like they break down every aspect. This is how you clean the bathrooms. They break down everything into a process. And that's what you should do too once you have more people. Believe it or not, you're going to have people that are going to work for you. And you're going to be the one training them. So the way to keep your sanity and make sure that they're continuing to do what you've been doing is to create systems for them. And I created like individual protocol systems. I had flowcharts. So I had giant flowcharts on the wall. It helped me. If nothing else, it helped me to learn what needs to happen. I deconstructed the protocol. So it's screening. This is what happens. Did they sign the consent? Yes. No. It had arrows to different boxes for each visit and then for each protocol. So it could get very detailed, and it's going to help you learn also. And then it's also going to you need to figure out the contraindicated meds. And you need to figure out each study has like its own special safety issues, concerns, lab values, or ECG results or something. There's going to be an assessment in each study that's more important than the others. It's a primary endpoint usually, or secondary endpoint, right? One of those two things you got to learn, and then you got to figure out how to create the system. And this applies to anybody that's new in research. Like I said, a week or two ago, somebody texted me basically the same thing. I'm at a site, it's very disorganized, the coordinator's left. I'm the only one here. Should I leave? And yeah, you can leave. That's one option. And then you can go to, let's say you go work for a university. You're not going to have this opportunity. It's actually a blessing in disguise for you to have. And I'm glad Yanisa just commented this. She said blessings come in different ways. Embrace the challenges and changes. You see, it's not just me saying this. So may not seem like it at the time. It's going to be very difficult. Be ready for like very long work weeks, and the holidays are the holidays are coming up. You're not going to have normal holidays. All right, you're going to have very busy holidays, depending how many patients are in the studies. If you don't have patients in the study, it doesn't really matter. You can kind of take it easy and figure things out. But sites can't survive without patient visits, right? That's how sites make revenue. So don't make it stagnate too long. And if you're in a similar situation, it doesn't even have to be at a site, although I think the site is the best level for that. Let's say you're at a CRO. Embrace new challenges, right? These CROs, these sponsors, they need people to do more than what's asked of them. And they can tell, the cream rises to the top. So they can tell who's willing to do it and who's not. And they're ready to promote you quickly. I mean, 3, 6, 9 months, you can be promoted at a sponsor or a CRO. If you're at a site, you're already seeing from two recent examples of people who basically went from research naive to running the entire site on their own. So this experience is going to be very valuable, whether you want to be a site owner, whether you want to be a CRA, whether you want to stay at the site level. It doesn't matter. This opportunity is it was meant to be for you guys. And if you're somebody out there trying to get in, I would try to seek these kind of opportunities. I mean, it's not the best way to learn. It's, like I said, you're going to have a lot of stress, but you're going to level up your career really quickly if you do it this way. This is one of the things we do in our CRA Academy internship. After the 3-month training, we throw them in there. We give them access to the e-source for our real breast cancer study. We give them the IMV report templates, and we say, hey, do a completed patient. Do a report on a completed patient. I want you to do complete SDR and regulatory. They look at ISF too. Do it. And the IMV report's very intimidating. It's very detailed, makes you deconstruct everything you're looking at, but that's what it takes. If somebody were to give you little piece by little piece, you're not going to learn much. If you do it all at once, you're going to learn holistically what you need to know. And you can see the forest from the trees and see the trees. What you need to do is see both macro and micro level perspectives. For your study, for the person who texted me this question, you need to see the forest level. So the micro, you need to see each individual protocol, each individual visits. You should deconstruct what happens, maybe with a flow chart or something at each visit. But then you need to take a step back, look at your entire site's SOPs, look at everything. How are they getting studies? How are they getting patients? How are they retaining patients? How are they training staff? How are they doing contracts and budgets? How are they doing everything? How are you getting PIs? How are you communicating with PIs? you need to create systems for all this. This is your opportunity. And like I said, going to be stressful, but the way to go. Brent Ellis, a YouTube member. We don't care about shameless plugs, Brent. It's fine. All right, especially if you're a YouTube member. Shameless plug, the quintessential CRA audit notes fit right in with your message. Hopefully. I mean, it would help, right? But this guy who texted me, he's got way more problems than just figuring out notes, right? He's got to figure out which patients are in the studies, who's overdue for their visits. The monitoring aspect is just one part of it. You got to keep your monitors happy, but you got to keep your patients happy. You got to keep the physicians happy, everybody. And patient safety is first. But yes, those quintessential CRA audit notes are pretty cool. It's going to make the monitors, when they come monitor your site, have a better experience at your site, which is good. No worries about the shameless plug. Mia says, hello, how's it going? Ashley says, very true. Mandy says, I love some advice. Thank you very much. Zohaib says, hi, Dan, academic trials coordinator, 2 studies, 35 sites, from startup to logistics. I want to move to industry. What designation should I target? Whatever designation, so whatever therapeutic indication those 2 studies are for, you should go to private industry at a site near you that specializes in those type of trials. Doesn't have to be, but it's going to be the easiest way to do it. And don't stay too long in academia. All right? Try to get to industry as quickly as you can. Why? It is related to what I just said. At a private site, you're going to have way more challenges, and challenges are opportunities. At an academic medical center, there's less challenges because you have so many people sharing their responsibilities that things are just more mundane, and you only have very narrow responsibilities for the most part, unless you're taking over a department, which Michelle Cohen from Mount Sinai, she took over an entire department at Mount Sinai and basically was doing what this guy was doing who texted me. But that's unlikely to happen when you're just starting out. So Zohaib, go apply at private research sites near you. Huette, how's it going? Nice to see you. Mandy said my site had 0 SOPs when I started, and by the time I left 5 years later, I created SOPs for as many things as I could. 2 years after I left the site, they contacted me to thank me for making them. Yeah, Mandy, and you know what? You probably know how to start your own site now. Doesn't mean that's what you're gonna do, but you know what it takes now to start and operate your own site. Here's another thing. If you do all this stuff and start bringing in staff and training them, you are now preparing yourself for a CRA career as well. Because training staff, looking over their source as part of quality assurance, quality control, prepping for monitoring visits, that's basically what monitors do. And so now you put those, if you want to be a CRA, you put that on your CV, or project manager. All right? They have to deal with budgets, they have to deal with logistics. At the site level, you can tweak your CV to fit the career pathway of a project manager. You can do this from the site level with so many things. Lucian says, awesome to see everybody here. I agree. So problems are actually opportunities, guys. That's the message for today. That's how you level up. Without problems, if everything was easy, the leveling up takes longer. When things are difficult and stressful and you approach it the right way, the leveling up occurs quickly, and that's only going to help your career. Darian says, forever grateful for Dan's infinite wisdom. It's not infinite, but thank you. Thank you. So let us know anything else, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. If you don't know what to comment, leave a robot emoji It helps the algorithm out a lot. I see LinkedIn, I see YouTube, I see Facebook on here. So thank you guys. The comments will help. We have the robots from Yanisa. Yanisa knows what's up. So it's been helping out a lot, growing, and approach your challenges coming up with a full head of steam. I gotta go. Catch y'all later. Bye bye.